about that
Okay,
too.
leave it.
There's a pat here.
It's making the flowers move.
You want to play better than everybody else, but you want to play better than you ever had. So every time you play, you better yourself. And you make sure that that note that wasn't quite right yesterday is right today. And it's that same with those passages. So it's a constant challenge to yourself, which takes a lot of energy too. You have to play well in a rehearsal. That's what the conductor's listening for. If he doesn't like something, he could never fix anything if everybody didn't play as well as they possibly can. Absolutely.
So there's no real such thing as rehearsal other than there's not an audience. But then even then there are some people that go to rehearsal.
Yes. You don't think of a rehearsal as an extra thing. I mean, rehearsal is your job. You're there to do as the best that you can. The difference is you wear casual clothes, I guess, and you don't goof around. You might talk a little bit more to your stand partner, but a lot of times it's in context of the music or some funny thing that happened. You scraped or something, and everybody laughs or something like that.
Do you scrape when you play?
Well, you might, something like that. So no, rehearsals are just as much energy consuming as a concert. And I don't know if you've noticed that, but when you play a concert and you're done and you stand up and everybody's clapping, everybody, you feel tired. You think, go home, audience. We don't want to, we're tired. We want to go home. We worked hard. It's hard to just like smile and be nice to the orchestra. I'm surprised the Baltimore Symphony, they've gotten the habit of turning to the audience and acknowledging it, which is very nice because most orchestras don't do that. But when you're done, you're tired. That's all. You've worked hard.
Yeah, but don't you feel exhilarated?
Yes and no. It's a different thing. You're tired, you're wound up, and you always have to go out for food or a beer or something afterwards.
Thing.
You're wound up. But you're tired of playing and you want to get off the stage somehow.
You did your job.
Yeah, you did your job and you want to get off and relax a little bit, but you can't certainly just go home and go to bed. It's just impossible to do that. You just wound up.
Okay, but did you do exercises, yoga and stuff like that?
Well, in the summers I used to do that. I always walked a lot all my life, and I think that that's always helped that. And I've always been a very careful food eater. I never went overboard with food.
So you're kind of like a professional athlete, except that your job is that you play instruments.
I suppose that way, yeah, because you shouldn't get
yourself
sick, right?
And at a peak,
Yes, right. Because when you're sick, of course, you can't. But yet, if you're sick, you still go and play. You just play as well as you can. I mean, I remember one time I had a horrible toothache. Oh, and we were doing a television concert in the Basilica there in Quebec. Oh, that was pretty bad. And with the big chorus
toothache?
and all that. Oh, it was an
abscess
tooth. Oh boy! And the next day, I think it was Christmas or something. Christmas Eve, I went to the dentist, and and I think we played again that night. So I mean, you just play. You can't say, "Oh, I got a toothache, I can't play." You just don't do that. So you try and take care of yourself.
I can't play
today. Those things don't happen. And you should be careful about your physical body. I mean, whether it's your mouth or your hands, whatever. But I don't know. I didn't think about that a lot when I was young. But as I got older, I thought, "Ooh, I better take care of my hands if this is my livelihood."
Okay, yeah, so you're talking like Daddy who played French horn. Did he do stuff to keep his lips, whatever?
Well, he was always carrying around that mouthpiece, playing the mouthpiece. I mean, he'd done that all his life, just always playing the mouthpiece. And I think a lot of brass players probably do that.
I know he does always had it in his car.
He was always doing that, having the mouthpiece, buzzing the mouthpiece, which keeps your lips going.
You mean that kind of buzz?
Yeah,
like a cigarette?
Well, I suppose, yeah. I mean, no, whatever that is, I can't do it, but that kind of thing.
I don't know, I'm not a horn player.
No, but you have to, it's like blowing in a balloon, that kind of idea, isn't it? Real centered.
Well, when I have practiced with my trombone,
Mouthpiece, yeah.
it's not quite the same as blowing.
No, because that mouthpiece is bigger too.
Okay,
but,
fine.
Still, it's the same idea. You have to get your body warm. I remember, I guess I didn't in college. Was in Miami. I mean, the weather's warmer, right? So your body is warm.
Yeah, Miami would be warmer.
So, but in North Carolina, we were always traveling. So you get to rehearse, you get to a place early because you never know when you're getting there. Usually you could be late sometimes, but you have to get to a place, eat and change clothes, and then you're there. And so you usually have an hour or something. Well, when I got to Baltimore, I never thought about it. And you're living in a city, and you have to deal with the traffic and getting to that place. And your dad wanted to get there like an hour and a half ahead, which meant you had to be out of the house 2 hours ahead, which meant you had to eat 3 or 4 hours ahead. You had to get so you go backwards from the time, actually, to get all that.
Do you sleep in late then?
You have a rehearsal that morning. And then the next morning you might have an afternoon concert, or you might go out of town. A lot of times after you play like 2 or 3 concerts, you'll go take a road trip to a town around someplace, for a day you run out. So, I mean,
do you get any days off when you're playing in an orchestra?
Yeah, you do, but they're not weekend days usually. Often after a run of 2 or 3 concerts, you might get a day off. Yeah, a lot of times, Monday. And you just, rehearsals usually start at 9 or 10, so it's not like being at work at 7:30 in the morning. So you have a little time to sleep till 8 or something, and then eat and go. It's really a 24-hour day work, especially if you're doing extra jobs in between. So you have to in between try and rehearse, yourself, practice yourself, and then be going to a job, trying to do your own family things, which don't happen too much, really, because you're on the go all the time.
Well, but you had the summers off because we were always traveling.
Yeah, we did summer festivals, or in between. When you were small, we did. It depends on where you are and what orchestra you're in Jackson Hole. There were the summer festivals. In North Carolina, that was after the other orchestras, which now I guess they have a summertime. A lot of these orchestras, they'll have a couple months off, and then they have a summer season of some kind, but everybody doesn't always play, too.
So essentially the main concert season, you're just there.
Yeah, except for if you take a week to go on a tour somewhere.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, so like you don't have time off yet, so like let's say 9 months or whatever is just pretty much devoted to playing in an orchestra.
Yes.
And you don't really have time for anything.
But a lot of the people teach in between at the conservatories, at private lessons.
You mean like that guy that used to have his students call him on the phone, the violin teacher? What was that guy's name?
Misha Mishakov was famous. He was the concert master of the New York of Toscanini's orchestra.
The NBC?
NBC orchestra. He was notorious for that, running out and giving lessons, for $25 for who knows. In those days, that was a lot of money. Yeah, doing it anytime, that he could.
But he did it like over the phone.
Yeah,
sometimes.
He did it that way. He did it on the train, in the aisles of the train, I heard. No, the train, if they went someplace, the orchestra did. People would take lessons from him.
Well, it's kind of good training, though, because then you're forced to play in the most ridiculous situations.
No matter what.
I mean, that's kind of like me and my singing sometimes.
Yeah, you do it wherever you can, yes. So you have a regular regime for yourself.
I do,
much.
because
very much so you do.
Since it's my own business, I have not only the rehearsal aspect and the performance aspect, but I have to get my own jobs because I'm my own agent. And I have to work out all the financial details along with that and do the contracts. And if they haven't paid me, call on the phone, hey, where's my money?